Welcome, this is the Phoenix Business Inc. overview video on GSA rate integration for expense reports in SAP Business ByDesign. The GSA rates integration is a add-on that we've created for Business ByDesign that lets us override the meal and incidental expenses in SAP Business ByDesign with GSA rates that you have downloaded from the GSA website here at gsa.gov, travel, plan-book, per diem rates, and you'll see that there is a spreadsheet that actually has all the official government rates for a particular calendar year. Once we have downloaded the rates, we're able to upload the rates into SAP Business ByDesign. Or if you did have corporate rates that you want to have, say you just have your own corporate rates and you're not really subject to GSA, but you have rates that you want to apply, you could also use this functionality to import and publish your own rates that would then override what you would have in SAP. You'll notice that these are destination specific and also seasonal specific. So looking here, for example, at the Grand Canyon, you'll see that there's different rates depending on different parts of the year. This is going to be destination based. So the user will type in the destination and then ByDesign will look up that destination, apply the current rates. Let's take a look at the configuration. Because we're going to automatically calculate the lodging and the meals and incidental expense rate, we actually can typically, in the default, is to put them in one line because it's going to be auto-calculated. There's really no need for two lines. We also have the backup documentation within the system to report on how those rates were calculated. We're able to set first and last day allowances. A lot of companies will allow, say, 50 to 75% of travel expense for first and last day. The alternative is, and it's a configuration option that's very easy to set up, is if you want to have a separate line for meals and incidental versus lodging. And this would be in a case where maybe sometimes someone is being provided meals at a trade show, in which case they would only have a lodging expense or a lodging allowance. And of course, we have a data manager that lets us import these rates. So you can import the rates for fiscal year 21, fiscal year 22. You can put in validity dates for the rates that you've put in. As mentioned previously, you could also add your own rates. We have some simple data actions here where if you want to create the per diem rates from the file that you've uploaded, or maybe you want to deactivate or update the validity rates here. So there is some mass data maintenance that you can do for rates once they're in the system as well. Let's see this in action. We're going to switch to a user. He's going to do an expense report. We'll do a business trip. And we traveled last month. Went out the 13th. We came back the 16th. Departed from home. We went to Houston. And then we went also to Miami. We had 50 miles mileage to and from the airport. And here we have our per diem rate, and it'll auto-calculate for the correct amount. You'll see it does give you some messages as how it's calculating these amounts. If you were to try to change this, say you wanted to give yourself $850, as soon as I click out, you'll see it has updated this. So I'm going to go next. You can of course put in attachments as you would for normally. And we'll see our reimbursable expense with the mileage. And it's that easy. So now we're going to take a look at this functionality on a mobile device. The same functionality is available in my mobile application. In this case, I'm on an iPhone and I have the standard ByDesign mobile application. I'm going to create an expense report. And we are going to start on the 13th and on the 16th. And I'm going to go to Houston. Now in this case, when I go down and I put in my per diem, we'll self-calculate $640 and 50 cents. If I was to change that, of course, it would overwrite that on save. So it won't overwrite it when I'm in it, but when I go to save it, it will overwrite that with the correct amount. And now I can hit OK. And I can submit and close. Very easy. And that is GSA rate integration for expense reports in SAP Business ByDesign.